This is Blue Tuesday, episode 2, with Jay Lewis. How is everybody doing out there? I hope everybody's enjoying their time. I hope everybody is enjoying their family. It is kind of a muggy Tuesday night here in Orlando, Florida, as we all brace and hunker down for this eventual hurricane that's going to hit us. Or, as Jay predicted it, we have a 2 out of 3 chance that we're going to be fine. The third chance, we're fucked. 2 out of 3 were good. Third chance we're fucked. So I like those odds. I really do. With me, as always, is Jay Lewis. Jay, how are you?
Good. What's up?
How's everything been, man?
Good.
You guys don't have to worry about hurricanes up in Virginia.
Every now and again we do. Just depends on it depends on the track. Yeah, we've gotten hit by a couple up here. We've had a couple of bad ones. It's usually always when I go on vacation, end of October, or actually it's the beginning of October. We always get threatened by one. It's just a pain in the ass. It's like I was down there and Sandy went by, and it was just scary as crap. And that's only times it ever really threatens me is when I go on vacation. Like, come on, God, just give me a break.
Maybe if you come down here, then we won't have to worry about maybe hitting us. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you guys will be okay. It's gonna tear up the islands, though. That's for sure.
The thing is, I see all my friends and everybody on Facebook, they're freaking out. They're like, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. And I think it also has a lot to do with the storm that just hit Texas, that everybody's kind of a little bit already on the edge. So everybody's panicking, but it's like, guys, it still has to hit. I live in Central Florida, so it still has to hit Cuba. Chances are it's going to hit Cuba, and it's going to hit Cuba hard, and it's going to get torn up by the mountains.
Right.
It's going to hit the Bahamas. It's got to hit Puerto Rico. It's got to hit maybe, I'm not sure if DR was on that list as well. Yep. It's got to hit DR. Then it's got to hit Miami, which is the tip of Florida, of the penis-sized shaped state. And then it starts heading towards the shaft, which is where we get fucked over.
You're going to get a lot of rain. You're going to get a good amount of rain, and you're probably going to get some decent wind, but hopefully the guts of it will be ripped out by the time it gets to you. Yeah, but you're gonna get a shitload of rain, that's for sure. We're gonna get less of a shitload of rain.
And the rain really doesn't affect me because I live on the second floor.
Yep. Just get some extra supplies just in case you can't get out.
Yeah. That's really all it is. So we'll be fine. Hopefully we'll be fine. If not, then I guess you won't see me for like a week or two until we get electricity back. The one I'm most worried about is Gio, man.
Yep.
He's in Puerto Rico, and the governor of Puerto Rico was like nervously saying on the news, we are so not ready for this shit.
No, they're not. If they could, we'll see in a few days, man. It's gonna get crazy. I just hope it's not as bad as they say it's gonna be, because a lot of these islands are just gonna get trucked.
Yeah,
absolutely trucked.
Didn't you say it was like the strongest storm that they've recorded in this area?
Yep. Since they've tracked hurricanes, it's the most powerful Category 5 hurricane ever.
Jesus. So we'll see what happens. You know, hey, global warming's not a thing, right?
Yeah. And it's funny you say that. It's so strong because of how abnormally warm the waters are right now.
Well, global warming's not a thing.
Definitely plays something into it.
Yeah. But it's not a thing. You know, 98% of scientists agree. But it's not a thing. There's no proof on it. But I hope all of you are out there, and if you're watching this on a Saturday, be safe, guys. You know, if you're in kind of the direct path of that, I think I have like 1 or 2 people that are from Puerto Rico, Gio, and a few other people. I don't know. I think we got a few locals from my neck of the woods that live in this area, so I'm hoping everybody out there is safe. Tonight, we are going to kind of speed through the opening of this, and then we're going to jump right into our main topic, which is Christopher Nolan, a favorite of Mr. Jay Lewis's. He has been following his career for a while. I know you're a big fan, dude. So we're going to dive into his back catalog. We're going to talk about some of the things he's good at, some of the things that we feel maybe not so strong at, and we are just going to shoot the shit for a little bit. First things first, what have you watched this week, Jay?
Oh God, I'm not proud to say this, but my wife is addicted to the Great British Baking, some show on Netflix, and it's actually like a less stressful baking competition because it's in England and they just are way less stressed out over there. At least they seem to be. So they're not all cursing and slamming things around like they do in some of those baking shows or some of those very stressful cook-off shows, you know, like Chopped or whatever those Great American Chef or whatever the hell they're called. So it's actually kind of it's been calming. It's just kind of chilling and watching that with her at times. Shit, I really haven't watched many movies this week. I've been reading a lot. Trying to catch up on some reading. So yeah, outside of that, not a whole lot. How about you?
Dude, not much. I started watching the abomination of a movie called Death Note. Oh my God, that is pretty bad. Have you seen it
on Netflix?
Yeah, have you seen this?
I know this. I know the premise. I understand it's from a manga. The premise seems cool. I've heard good things about the manga, and the show. I mean, the show that they made it look like the guy looked kind of cool, but outside of that,
no,
not good.
Not good. Not good at all. Look, I love the manga, and maybe I'll be a little bit biased here, but it is not good at all. It is pretty fucking terrible for a film. It's pretty bad. And I went into it thinking, you know what, as a film, let me just separate this from the source material. Let's see how this is as a film. It's pretty damn terrible. It is not that good.
I had it on my list of things to eventually check out, but I will gladly take it off.
The first time that Light, the main character, meets Ryuk, he screams like a little bitch, and he's overacting. It's pretty terrible. I just didn't care for it. I didn't think.
Is it a movie or is it a series?
It's a movie that should have been a series. Because Death Note, the anime, is 38, 34, I want to say 34, 32 episodes long. And this could have easily been something that could have stretched out over like 3 seasons. And if they'd done it right. And for the love of God, this has been a topic that's been going on for a while with a lot of people, the whitewashing thing. I was all open for it being, not Asian people. I was like, all right, that's fine, whatever. It's not going to be Asian people. I kind of expected this. But Jesus Christ, guys, this was terrible from the beginning to end.
Yeah, if they do it right, it's okay. If they don't, then yeah.
Well, regardless of if it was Asian or if it was white, the movie was still terrible. The movie was still really bad. The fact that it wasn't set in Japan like it should be, and the fact that it takes inspiration from a lot of Asian folklore and stuff like that. It's still terrible.
Yeah, I always was interested in it, so even my curiosity was more piqued because I don't know if I'd ever read the manga, but yeah. Now that you said it's bad, I'm just gonna avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, just avoid it. Honestly, your best bet is to just avoid the whole thing and not watch it at all.
All right, fair enough. I started watching. Do you remember that old crappy Will Smith movie, Wild Wild West? I started watching that last night. Just pure nostalgic on Netflix. I'm like, I need something to watch. Boom, let's do this.
With the spider at the end?
I haven't gotten that far. I forgot that Kenneth Branagh is the bad guy in that.
That's right. Yep. That is Kenneth Branagh.
I totally forgot. I'm gonna shut my door real quick. Oh.
What is Kenneth Branagh doing? Okay, never mind. You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. It was probably a paycheck.
Yeah, it's so cheesy. I felt like watching a cheeseball movie. I could like fall asleep too. So I eventually watched like first half hour, 45 minutes of that, and it worked like a champ.
Would you say it's kind of a guilty pleasure?
Some of those movies are absolutely. I never admit to them until now that I've actually watched it or want to watch it. But yeah, when I don't feel like watching something that I want to think too hard about, I just want to literally shut my brain off. And
hold on one second.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sorry. What reason?
No, I was gonna say if it's one of those movies you just kind of want to shut your brain off and not think. You don't have to literally not have to think. You just sit there and watch it and
soak it in.
Right. It's either like it because it's bad or you hate it because it's bad. And I like it because it's bad.
There's no in between.
Right. You either don't like you don't like it because it was a good movie. You like it because it was a shitty, cheesy cornball movie where he sang "Wiki Wiki Wild Wild West."
And I actually remember when that was super popular. Okay, kids today will never realize Will Smith used to be a rapper. He used to be actually a pretty famous rapper. Never really a great rapper, but a really popular one.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I enjoyed some of his stuff when I was a kid. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, so. Going straight to
Yep. Oh, yeah. I had that album. I think I had that album, Big Willie Style.
I had it too. Did you have a Millennium? Or I think it was called.
That might have been after the peak, after like when I was too cool for it in high school. It's like, nah, we ain't doing that no more.
It had the Miami song. I'm going.
Oh, welcome to Miami.
Yeah. Hey, that you know what? That album had some good banging hits on it. I bet if I listen to it now, I'll just go, "Oh my God, what was I thinking?"
Oh God, that's yeah. I mean, you look back at a lot of that stuff from your childhood, you're like, I loved it then, but I don't really like it as much now. Did not age well. Oh God. Yeah, I need to watch some more stuff. I've been reading a lot. I started watching Mortal Kombat. That's another guilty pleasure movie. So bad, but I wanted to watch it. I tend to do that. I watch like the beginning third or half of a shitty movie that I like, and then come back to it and finish it. Start another one. I have a hard time finishing stuff.
I'm kind of the same way. Like when I do editing, when I do work and stuff like that, I like to watch like a terrible '90s action movie or something like for some reason Michael Bay movies from the 90s are like the thing that I'm always in the mood to watch when I'm editing stuff, like Con Air, Face Off, even though Face Off is John Woo, a few things like that.
Did he do Bad Boys?
He did do Bad Boys.
Yep, those are a prime example.
The Rock.
I think Bad Boys 2 is on my list.
Hey, Bad Boys 2 is great.
Yep. Shit just got real.
I still love Bad Boys 2, man. I haven't seen Bad Boys 2 in a while. I might need to sit down and watch the old Bad Boys 2.
That's some good shit.
Where like the end of the movie, they're rampaging through Cuba or something like that. I forgot where it was. They're like blowing up houses and Humvees and things like that.
Yeah. It was on. They were like through a favela of some sort. Like they're just trucking crappy, rundown houses in a favela and just not caring. Hey, they did it first, and then Fast and the Furious did it.
That's true. It's very true.
Fast and Furious stole that shit. Like we need to do something. We need to bust through some shitty houses in Brazil.
Bust through some shitty houses in Brazil. But I hope everybody else is doing well tonight. I haven't seen. Well, like I'm all over the place right now. Sorry, I'm a little bit loopy. So yeah, nothing else that I saw this week. Saw another episode of Defenders. Thought it was pretty good. Didn't really. 4 episodes in. I don't know why it's not hooking me. It's not that it's bad. It's actually pretty good. I'm enjoying what I'm watching. It's just I'm not clamoring to see like the next episode like I was with Daredevil season 2 or Daredevil season 1 or Jessica Jones. I'm like, oh man, I want to see what happens next. This one I'm like, okay. You know, I could finish it at my leisure. Super excited, of course. Westworld got its first trailer. I think it was like 2 weeks ago that we got the first trailer for the new season of Westworld. Have you seen that?
No. Is that good?
It's good. It's real good. It's are you a big fan of sci-fi?
Is that HBO?
Yeah, that's HBO. You'd probably like it. It's actually not bad. It's it lost a little bit of steam for me about halfway through. And then I finished it. I thought it was pretty good. Can't complain.
I like Jeffrey Wright. I could be down with that.
You know what? It's a perfect show for you to sit down with your wife. I think you both would enjoy it. First episode was a little bit slow, and you're going to be going, "What the fuck is going on?" But then it picks up.
Yeah, I think that's so. I think that's exactly what happened to us when we tried to watch like the first episode. We were like, "What?"
Yeah,
we'll watch this. That's exactly what we did. We were like, "We'll watch this later because we're not really getting it." and it's late, and we never did.
Second episode is much stronger.
Okay.
Yeah, the second episode is far and away much stronger because you're actually starting to understand what the fuck is going on and what's going on with the plot. It's a lot better. It's kind of like a Jonathan Hickman book where you're reading it and you're going, I have no clue what the fuck is going on, and then you get through. Yeah, and then you get through like 30 issues of it, and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm starting.
I had to read 30 issues to get it.
Yeah, dude. I have been very critical about Jonathan Hickman for a while. I don't know if you've ever read any of his stuff. But he's just one of those writers that just does not click with me almost with anything.
Is it just too much of a slow burn?
It's way too much of a slow. It's too much of a slow burn, and it's all plot. It is all plot. The characters are there for 9 times out of 10 when he writes stuff just to be in service of the plot. But once it gets going, he delivers on some good shit. The problem is you got to get through 30 issues of nonsensical, boring shit to get to the good shit. He's great value Grant Morrison for me.
Okay. I'm a big plot guy. I like character development, but I'm more of a story that's going to hook me.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to a movie, like an overarching, grand scheme plot sort of. Like if it's just a very, don't get me wrong, I enjoy basic stories where it's more character driven, but in general, I prefer a bigger, grander, grandiose plot with, multiple characters and things like that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm the complete opposite, though. I prefer character. I love great character moments and things like that. And that's just my preference, which is why I don't think his writing really is all that much for me. It doesn't really do much for me. I read something that he writes, and I'm like, you're boring the shit out of me.
Right.
So I think one of the writers that's able to really kind of strike that balance really well, and that's probably why he's my favorite writer right now, is Garth Ennis. I love Garth Ennis's work. And yeah, he can be a bit childish and a bit crude in some of the stuff he writes, but I haven't read anything bad by him. I don't think I watched anything else. I think it's kind of interesting because right now with my Sunday nights free from Game of Thrones, I'm like, well, now what do I watch? So
I totally forgot Sunday just went by. It just literally came and went. And then it was Monday. I was like, oh crap. At least I have today off.
What I did try to do today was find the 4K version of Blade Runner that came out to stores, and apparently there was I couldn't find it anywhere. Like Best Buy didn't have it in stock. Nobody had it in stock. And it's not that they sold out. It's just they didn't get stock of it.
I'm waiting. I haven't bought I not a lot of movies that I buy much anymore. I'm way more selective than I used to be. But I'm going to get, when Wonder Woman comes out, I have some backlog movies I need to get. I need to get that. I need to get Logan, and I need to get Guardians 2. So when that comes out, I'll just make one quick Amazon purchase and call it a day.
Just one giant purchase and get everything?
Yep.
That's not a bad way to go about it. And by then, the movies will probably be cheaper and there'll be deals for them and stuff like that.
Yeah, I used to be a release guy and get everything, and then I ended up with, 400 Blu-rays and was like, shit, I'm not going to watch half of these. And even cutting down my collection in half, I still don't watch half of what I have.
You walk in
now I have an excuse when we have these sort of things. It's gonna force me to watch movies that I've got. It's a cheap excuse for me to watch what I have, get extra use out of it. So thank you, Luis, for making me watch my movies that have been sitting on a shelf for way too long unwatched.
So basically what you're telling me is that one day you walked into your room and you just realized I've made a huge mistake with like all these Blu-rays that you haven't watched.
Oh yeah, man. I had 2 full shelves of these things, and it was more like I was just holding on to them to hold on to them. And my wife was like, yeah, we need to get rid of some of these. I'm like, I don't really want to. She's like, you need to get rid of some of them. And that's kind of like the polite way of saying get rid of them before it becomes a fucking problem. So I was like, all right, we're going to wait through these shits. And honestly, it just turned into another habit. I think I took a bunch of that money and just bought books, which one habit into another, one obsession into another.
Yeah, you just traded one bad habit for another one.
Exactly.
It's a pricier one.
Yeah, but at least I'm reading.
That's true. That is true. You know, you're not just sitting in front of the couch.
That's how I look at it. I'm reading. I don't read a lot. I don't like to read, but I enjoy reading comic books. So there you have it.
Oh man. Well, that about does it for me. Other than that, I'm just waiting for Destiny tonight. I'm gonna be heading out in a few minutes actually to go pick up my copy,
There you
and
go.
it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Good time. I'm gonna also, like I said, I already in a video earlier I included my PSN account. So if you guys want to check that one out, the one I did before this, you can follow me there, and we could play some Destiny if you guys are down for it. But kind of just jumping into the main topic, Christopher Nolan. So I'm gonna start this thing off. What is your favorite Nolan film?
That's a good question. Probably it's Inception.
Inception? Okay,
Yeah.
why?
It just I don't know. It just had me from the get go. He just pulled me in from the minute the movie started. I was just hooked. I needed to know what it was about, what was going on, and I just had me at the edge of my seat the entire freaking movie. All of his movies are so, to me, are so thought provoking. I'm not just sitting there waiting for the next big loud bang, boom, laugh, whatever. They're very cerebral to me. Even his Batman movies were very cerebral. And I like that. I like to think. I like to be challenged to think when I'm watching a movie. And even reading a book, same thing. I want to try to think of what's gonna come, and it's almost like he's playing a chess game with you while you're watching the movie. You know, you're trying to keep ahead of him, and boom, he gets you right at the end. You're like, oh shit! I love that. I love that moment at the end. We're just like, you know, especially at the end of Inception, where his little top is spinning, and you don't know if it stopped spinning or it did spin. You're just like, what the fuck? Yes, Christopher Nolan. Yes, that's why I love you. So yeah, just everything about that movie, the actors, everybody in that movie was perfect. Like nobody did a bad job in that movie. Every actor, top to bottom. I have a man crush for Leo, so of course that was just, you know, he's the main character. Just emphasize that. Yeah, that's why I love it. How about you? What's your favorite?
It's really difficult to decide because the man's catalog is, you know, say what people want to say about his editing and stuff like that, and how he has trouble filming fight scenes and things like. The man's catalog is really fucking good, and he hasn't had a bomb yet. We're talking like a total box office disaster. Obvious answer would probably be Dark Knight. But at the same time, going back and revisiting a lot of his catalog and a lot of his films.
Let's break it up. What favorite? Because I kind of.
I think we can say.
I love Batman. I love the three Batman movies.
Yeah.
Kind of outside of that, so like favorite Batman movie and then favorite non-Batman movie.
Okay, favorite Batman movie. Favorite Batman movie Begins, because I don't think Dark Knight is a Batman movie.
Yeah, well, okay. So from that trilogy, let's say.
I know I'm kind of being a pain in the ass for you right now.
Yeah, no,
I also had this discussion with Tyler a few months ago when he came to visit. I was like, I don't think the Dark Knight is a Batman movie, and Tyler was like, dude, me too. So
yeah, it's a Joker movie.
It's not only that; it's a Joker movie. It's a crime movie, and Batman just kind of happens to be in it.
Right.
That's the way I see it. And I know somebody in the comment section is probably like, no, you're wrong. But that's just how my monkey mind works. Favorite movie that isn't a Batman movie? Fuck. I'm going to go Prestige.
That's a good film. That's a really good film. I watched that the other day, too. That's a good film. I love Hugh Jackman. He's kind of like another man crush. And that's from my wife, interestingly enough. I didn't really care for – I mean, I like Hugh Jackman when he played Wolverine, but she like loves him, seen him on Broadway multiple times. I think I have like – it's hers, but in my closet I have like an autograph like thing of his that she got at one of his plays. So in in knowing my wife and marrying her, I have like a greater appreciation for Hugh Jackman. So he's like one of my favorite actors now, along with DiCaprio. But yeah, Prestige, such a good film. The underappreciated one of his. I think there's a couple of like that like Insomnia, I think is really underrated. Robin Williams is fantastic in that. Most people probably, I don't even know how many people have seen that movie or knew that he directed that. If you haven't seen Insomnia, fantastic film. Absolutely fantastic crime film. But yeah, Prestige is a great choice. A fantastic choice. My favorite Batman movie is probably going to shock. I like the last one the best, Bane. It was the most... I think it was the most, again, going back to me personally, other people may disagree, your mileage may differ. I just thought it was the most cerebral. It just had me thinking. And Bane was more of a diabolical thinking, like strategy guy, as opposed to Joker, who was just madness. He was just doing things to create chaos. He had a very strong strategy to what he was doing as well, but it was more chaos driven, where like Bane was just, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I like that one the best.
Yeah, it is.
And it tugged at my heartstrings at the end, where it was like he wants to get out of it. Is he dead? No, he's not. Fuck yeah, Nolan. Fuck yeah.
Did you think he was dead?
I mean, they set it up like that. They were just like, okay, he's taking the bomb away, and it blows up, and you don't know if he's actually dead or not. And you're like, did they kill him? You know, they say he set it up so perfectly to make even like the hardcore fans be like, I think he fucking killed him. Nolan's got some balls if he just killed Batman. Like, he's got some brass balls if he just killed He didn't kill Batman. He didn't kill Batman. I love
that's kind of that's kind of one of the things where I thought too. I was like, in the theater, everybody was tearing up towards the end of it. I was like, oh my god, and so was I. I was like, it was actually kind of an emotional moment.
It got me. It got me. I didn't think I was gonna tear up, but I did. I was like, are you crying? Just let me have my moment, thank you. This is my film. I can cry at my films, thank you.
And I was like, this is great. This is a definitive ending to Batman, you know. And then I was like, you had to make it ambiguous. You had to make it a little bit ambiguous, didn't you? I just wanted a definitive ending. Well, I get why you did.
Yeah, what pisses me off is they kind of like, at the end, they haven't done anything with it yet. And I'm curious if they're going to do it in the next Batman movie. If they're going to, I don't think they are, is they totally set up Gordon-Levitt. Is that his name?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, yeah.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They totally set him up to be like almost like a Dick Grayson-esque character. Like
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, like it totally set him up to be this is going to be the next Batman. And they just didn't do anything with it. So that irritated me. And
they won't, because it's two different universes. I would love to have seen them kind of continue the mantle, you know, that he would be like Terry McGinnis or something like that. But, you know, they said, honestly,
Blake.
Yeah, and he was, well, at the end they reveal his name is Robin. And I'm sitting in my chair going, they're going to say it's Terry. They're going to say it's Terry McGinnis, aren't they? And then they go, Robin. I was like, fuck! That's what you heard in the movie.
Yeah, I was really, and I think if he kept doing those films, or maybe he just set it up with the hopes of whoever next was going to do it, and it hasn't panned out that way. And now with the whole new DCEU, it's never going to happen. But
it's never going to, and I think it's a damn shame. But you know what? You say it's never going to happen, but if Nolan ever wants to come back and do a Batman movie in his own universe, you can bet your fucking stars that WB's gonna go, okay.
Yeah, they'll just let him do it. I mean, he's got a blank check to do whatever he wants. If he wants to make a movie about like fucking gay ostriches, he's gonna make a movie about gay ostriches. Like they don't care. It will be good.
Yeah.
All right. That film might not be that good, but
Nolan can honestly. I think Nolan's one of those guys. One of the few directors that are around today that he can pull his weight. That he can go, I can open a movie. I can open a movie. I can make something really worthwhile. I can open it, and it will do very well at the box office. And if, let's say, you know, tomorrow they announce Christopher Nolan's coming back to Batman, but it's going to be in his Batman universe, WB's like, how much do you want?
Right. Plank, he could say whatever the hell he wants. I mean,
Yeah.
$100 million. They're like, there you go. Here's $100 million.
Here's the check. Here's the check. Here's the budget. Have fun. Go play.
He kind of reminds me. He's a very selective director, so he's not just like pumping out movies.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of like a Daniel Day-Lewis, but of directors. So he's very selective in that regard, and does what he wants, and because he wants it to be quality, and he's going to take his time with it. And Daniel Day-Lewis is kind of an actor like that. He wants to make it. He wants to pick a role, get into it, and do it right, and not just fart out movies just to make a paycheck.
Yeah, because there are definitely those guys out there that they could crank out movie after movie after movie after movie, but it's all shallow. There's really never anything good about it. What do you think is Nolan's least? What is your least favorite movie?
Probably Dunkirk, to be honest.
Wow,
I love World War II movies.
It's because you're an American swine.
Yeah, I love World War II movies, and I love that period, and I appreciate it more now that I've seen it, or that I've had time to kind of reflect back on it, because, you know, realizing that it was about a British piece of that history, and not American focused. And I think I went into it like, all right, what badass American battle is this going to be about? And then I had to do some research and realize, oh shit, that has nothing to do with that at all. And it's the British, and it's their side piece. I mean, he's from England. It makes sense. Like, now that I've had time to think about all that, I understand it more, but it's still just something that's not going to, you know, if you're a huge World War II fan and you understand that and appreciate it, that's great. But your average fan's probably going to be going into that going, okay, all right,
where are the damn Nazis?
Yeah, and it's his style, like it's his thought process on it, right? So it's not a lot of Nazi killing. We're not scalping Nazis, you know. It's the absolute opposite of that movie. Like, it's very good, but it's just when I say like he makes me think a little bit in that, but he didn't make me think. I wasn't. The only thing I had to think about was like the timelines of everything. That was his little twist of it, were like the timelines in the movie, like they were, I guess, the different viewpoints as they were kind of going along from the different people, and then kind of catching up on those as you got through the movie. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't tear up my heartstrings. It didn't, make me go, "Fuck Nolan" at the end. That's what I want. I expect that from him at this point. I expect to do a fist pump and go, "Fuck yeah, Nolan." And if I can't, then yeah.
For me, it's probably, now I haven't seen Dunkirk, but everybody's told me you will either fall into one of two categories. You will either really like Dunkirk and you'll think it's one of the best movies of the year, or you'll think it's just okay, and that there needed to be a bit more character development. For me, my least favorite Nolan movie thus far is probably Inception. No, not Inception.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
That is probably funny enough, probably my second favorite non-Batman related one. And I think we talked about this before. I think you got lost at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Did it have you? Were you at least intrigued up until the end?
It wasn't that I got lost towards the end. It was more of, I was like, and now the fifth element. It's kind of like Fifth Element. It's love, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
you were going with such hard sci-fi with facts and with things like that, and it's love, and I'm just like, pump the brakes. What?
Yeah, it's some of that was like when they get sucked into the black hole, and there's like some of that was cool. I enjoyed that, but yeah, a little bit was over the top. And how do you that's in his mind. How do you accurately portray that? Because none of us know what that is. Like, what is it? And I guess that was just his perception of it. And yeah, him getting kind of shit out of the black hole at the end. I don't know. Some of that kind of lost me. And at the end, frankly, I didn't give a shit. I was just like, that was awesome. He's out of it. Everybody's older. Cool. I can dig it. But in some of that part, I was just like, what's going on? All right. I'll allow it because it's Christopher Nolan. I'll give you a slight pass on this one because the rest of the movie was badass. But no, I agree with you. That bit was a little confusing. But I mean, up to that point, I was literally on the edge of my seat the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
Just very realistic. Like, this could happen. This could legitimately happen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's a very frightening film in certain seasons, like with the whole dust bowl and like corn is the main amount of food because they really can't grow anything else and things like that. I dug it, and I dug the concept, and it was a very interesting future and a very possible future with the way we're fucking up the environment and things like that. But that ending just did not resonate with me as much as I think he wanted it to with the general audience. It just didn't click with me. And maybe it's because I'm a cold, heartless, atheistic bastard. But like the ending, it was love. I just went slowly in my seat.
That's fair. That's
It
fair.
doesn't ruin the movie. It does not ruin the movie because, god damn it, that movie is still 2/3 of that movie is fucking great.
You have to let the love in, man. Got to let it in. Let it consume you. You will feel better at the end of the day.
The last third was where I was just like, this is not jiving with me.
Yeah, I thought the character development between him and Murph was the best thing in that movie. I felt for them. Kitty. Like, I don't know if I like Jessica Chastain as the older version. She was okay.
Yeah.
I thought the younger version of her was a way better played the character way better.
Yeah.
I again, it's just one of those films where I think I fell in love with the concept of the film and enjoyed that more than some of the rest of it. But you got the kitty.
Yeah, the concept. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I think this is Merida, if I'm not mistaken. She's actually the biggest of the lot.
Oh,
yeah, she's a sweetie. She just wants to be cuddled all the time. That's her thing.
I can tell.
Oh, and that's my biggest complaint. It's not a terrible. Like I said, I don't think Nolan has a bomb. I don't think he has a movie where it's just like, oh, this is unwatchable. Because even then, I popped Interstellar on probably like a month or two ago, and I dug the hell out of it. And I was like, wow, this is great. And then I got to the last third, and I was like, I remember now why I didn't really enjoy this ending, but I didn't hate it as much. It's one of those movies where, have you ever had a movie where you watch it, you're like, I didn't think I gelled with that well. And then you watch it again, you're like, no, it was a little bit better this time, maybe, and then you watch it again, you're like, okay, I'm slowly getting more appreciation for it. I think it's one of those for me, because last month was probably about the 4th time that I've seen it, and each time I watch it, I'm like, I enjoy it a little bit more.
It gets better.
Yeah, it definitely. I personally think it's a film that gets a little bit better the more you watch it.
Yep, it's like a fine wine.
And there are movies that are like that. There are movies that you watch them, the more you watch them, the better they get.
Yeah. Yep. I think out of his, I think Memento is kind of like one of those for me. Like, obviously, probably a lot of the hardcore Nolan fans are going to be like, "Oh, Memento's the best. That's his first. Nothing's better than Memento." I really love that movie. It's just not my favorite, but again, it's one of his that the more I watch it, the more I appreciate it, because I've seen it only a handful of times. I own it. I love it, but it's definitely not my favorite of his. It's on the bottom half for me. If I were to rate his films, it would probably be non-Batman. It would be Dunkirk, Memento, Prestige, Interstellar, Inception.
That's a good solid list.
And then totally backwards Batman. Third, second, first. Third the best, second in the middle, first the least.
Wow, you really love the third Batman over the second one. Wow,
yeah, and I'm probably like one out of like a million people. Like I don't. There's probably I love third movies for some reason. I loved Return of the Jedi when I was a kid way more than Empire. I like Empire better now.
What?
I like Empire.
Wow.
I like Empire better now. Don't get me wrong. But growing up, I love I love Return of the Jedi more. I love the third Indiana Jones the best. I still love the third Indiana Jones the best. I don't know. Maybe it's just like series closures or something. I just like the ending, the closing of it. Dark Knight, great movie. I just, for some reason, I just like the one with Bane better. They hate me. I don't care.
I mean, let's not brush past this. You liked Empire more you liked, wow.
As a kid.
Oh, okay.
As a kid. Not today. I've grown up. Again, it's like you hated the taste of alcohol when you were a kid, and you're like, I don't like that. It's too adult. Yeah. Like, no, I like Ewoks, But now you watch it, and you're like, man, this fucking Ewoks dumb. I still like Return of the Jedi. I love Empire way more now that I'm older and have a better appreciation for it. I like Empire Strikes Back a lot more than I do Return. But when I was a kid, it was totally opposite because they were totally going for that. They're like, we're gonna clamor to these kids, and put these little furry fuckers in it, and
Yeah, Empire is not a happy ending. That does not end on a good note.
I mean, as a kid, I was like, frankly, I was frightened. I'm like, this fucking got his arm chopped off. Like, he's fighting his dad. What is going on? What is with this movie? And then, and then the total opposite. It's like, think of it as a kid, you've got these epic battles. You've got this epic forest battle. That's awesome. Check. You've got this epic space battle. Check. Going on at the same time. Luke and Darth Vader are fighting each other. Check. Like all these awesome things are happening at once. I don't know. It's just as a child, that's what I like the most. Not to get too far off topic.
No. We're still we're still very much on topic. Usually it goes off the rails a lot quicker.
That's true. Oh God.
Man, I don't know. I mean, as a kid, I think I honestly liked Empire the most. Even as a kid, I think I enjoyed Empire the most. I think it was because, oh my God, it's, I'm a kid. Holy shit, Luke is, his son, and his arm is cut off, and he's losing the fight, and he's getting his ass beat, and they have to rescue him last minute. Oh.
I think it also was like in the third one, he was a legit Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is now a badass. Like, he's been training first two movies. Now he is a badass, and I'm assuming we're going to see the same thing with the current trilogy. She's kind of learning something probably bad will happen in the second one, and then in the third one she'll be a total badass and fuck everything up. So I'm hoping that the second one that comes out here is probably going to be the best of the bunch if they follow the same.
I'm hoping the second one just isn't a remake of the original trilogy.
Oh, who would be her? Oh, it's gonna be Luke. Like, Luke, I'm your Luke's your father, and you're just if that's what it is for real, and they have some sort of like stupid unveiling.
I really hope that's not the route that they're going, because that first one, it was very much, it's a cool thing to say it was a remake of the original one, but there are some beats in there that I'm like, this is beat for beat almost the original movie.
Oh yeah, like we're all gonna go to the planet Death Star, blow this thing up.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I still enjoy the hell out of it. It's a fun movie.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I actually like Rogue One better.
I do too.
Okay.
I do too. Right. I like Rogue One a lot more than I do the Force Awakens. I think it's because Rogue One, they just didn't give a fuck. Like, characters fucking die in Rogue One.
Yeah, they're not iconic characters. They're just people that you already know pre-going in, that if you know anything about the Star Wars universe, spoiler alert, you should know this. They don't fucking make it.
No.
They don't.
Not at all.
Like,
I went into that movie going, yeah, none of these guys are going to make it out of this alive.
Yeah, and you were okay with it. You're like, all right, I already know these people are going to get blown to fuck, and that's it. The end.
It was really cool to see Darth Vader get his balls back.
Yep.
That motherfucker shredded them at the end of that movie.
Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that. Oh, man.
Kind of getting back on topic though.
Yep.
For me, my favorite Nolan films. Number one, Prestige. This is of course without the Batman movies.
I love it.
I love Prestige. Number one, Prestige. Number two, Inception. Number three, haven't seen Dunkirk yet, so I can't comment on it. Memento. Number four. What am I missing, Jay?
Interstellar.
And what was the other one? I know
It's just so there's non-Batman or Dunkirk, Interstellar, Inception, Prestige, and Memento.
And then I guess Inception would be at the bottom of that list.
Interstellar.
Interstellar. Jesus.
Yep.
Interstellar would be at the bottom of that list.
Okay, that's fair. So we're all over the map.
Yeah, between me and you, we're all over the map in terms of what we like from Nolan, and there's nothing wrong with that. How did you feel about the top spinning?
Yeah, that was the pump my fist. Fuck yeah, Nolan! You magnificent bastard! Like you did it.
Did you think he's still dreaming? For those that haven't seen Inception, I guess spoilers for like a 7-year-old.
The optimist in me wants to think that it stopped and he's just happy. And it's
okay.
You could. I think it is meant to be. It's meant for you to think of it how you want to think of it. So if you want to be, if you want to think he's fucked and he's just distracted by his kids and he's still dreaming, then that's what you want to think. And if you want to believe that he did it and he's finally free and he can be with his children and he's in reality, that's what you want to believe. And I think that's probably like that with a lot of his movies. At the ends, it's what perception, what you think, and that's another reason why I love it, because it's not a defined, it's nothing defined.
Yeah, I think I'm the more cold-hearted bastard side. I think he's fucked.
Okay, that's fair.
I think he's fucked and he doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't know when he. There's probably plenty of times where he could have gotten fucked and not realized it, but I can't think of any. I mean, there's plenty of times where he could still be dreaming and you just didn't know it and weren't paying enough attention, or I don't know. I think he did it. I think he completed his task. Everybody was there at the end, and he did it.
I wonder what Nolan. Cause I don't think Nolan's ever come out and said, "No, this is what the ending was." I think he deliberately has never flat out said it. I think he's always been ambiguous about it.
Let's see. Let's see if I can Google some stuff here. Good old Google machine. It just says, "I want you to chase your reality." I don't know what that means. Meaning behind the top spinning. This is way too long to read all of it. He said, the way the end of the film worked, Leonardo DiCaprio's character Cobb, he was off with his kids. He was in his own subjective reality. He didn't really care anymore, and that makes a statement. Perhaps all levels of reality are valid. The camera moves over the spinning top just before it appears to be wobbling. It was cut to black. He said, I skip out of the back. He was just talking about people groaning because they don't know, and he kind of skips out of the back of theaters before he can watch them because he doesn't want to answer the fucking question. So again, it's Cobb's perceived reality, right? So it's whatever he perceives it to be, whatever you perceive it to be.
Yeah.
My point, that's my perception of it is what I said, and your perception is what you said, and that's exactly what Nolan wants. And Nolan and it's Cobb's perceived reality. It's everybody's life, It's
everybody's life.
How you perceive your own life and your own reality and what you got going in, and how do you know we're not in Matrix fucking bubbles right now? Yeah, I don't know that.
Shit, this actually makes me want to watch Inception now. I might actually put on Inception right before I go to GameStop.
Dude, do it.
That's been so long. That's such a good movie.
Yep.
That opening scene, man, with where they're first doing the bank heist, not the heist inside Sato's mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
Ken Watanabe is a fantastic
Oh, Ken Watanabe is great in the film.
actor.
That was actually Tom Hardy's breakout role in that movie.
Yep.
That's what really blew him up.
He was great in that.
Even though he only had a few scenes in it too.
And again, another one of those where it's just like not a, like I said, none of the characters were bad at it. The pacing of the movie was fantastic. I usually don't like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was pretty damn good at. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the whole what was it? Was it That 70s Show? Not That 70s Show. What that shitty show he was in when he was a kid, and I fucking hated it.
Roseanne? Was it Roseanne?
No, I'm looking it up. Somebody's gonna be watching. No, was it That 70s Show?
No, he wasn't in That 70s Show.
Buddy Morgan? He might have had a small piece in that. No, there was a show he was in, and I fucking hated it, and I didn't care for him. I can't remember the name, but somebody in the comments will be like, "It's fucking this." Oh, it's Third Rock from the Sun.
I knew it.
Yep. That show was dumb. Sorry. If anybody actually liked that film or that show, sorry. I thought it was dumb. John Lithgow was in it. Yeah.
John Lithgow's the redeeming quality of that.
Preconceived Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, but again, it's, I hated Leonardo DiCaprio and a lot of stuff previous to some of his more recent films, and now he's my personal favorite actor.
So we talked about, we kind of haven't really even talked about his first film too much, Memento. Did you know it was backwards going into it?
Yes.
I did too. That was ruined for me already. I kind of wish I didn't, so that surprise would still be there, but still, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I think I had a buddy who ruined it. I didn't really care at that point. I was like, what's this movie? Whatever, I'll watch it. I didn't know what I was getting into before I watched it. I didn't understand how awesome it was going to be. And then you watch and you're like, that was cool. Why was it ruined for me? Damn you. Why did you ruin it?
There's actually, I'm pretty sure if you look online, there's a cut with the film like done the other way around.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody's cut it up and they've done it the correct way,
There are two, I didn't realize this until I just looked it up, 2 Matrix actors in that movie.
What movie?
In Memento.
Yeah, the Trinity, and I forgot the other one.
Yeah, Joe Pantaleone.
Yeah,
I pronounce his name. He was Cypher.
Yeah.
Yep. He's his like the cop, right? The buddy. Is he a cop?
Yes. And in Memento, he's the cop that helps him. He's trying to help him out.
Yep. He just beats the shit out of him all the time. Like, fuck you, I don't believe you.
God, I need to watch Memento. I've only seen it once, and I thought it was okay. Like, I really dug it.
It's one of those. It's the concept, and it's probably what helped him kind of take off into what he's doing now. Where he is now. But it's just that it was just his concept, his thought, his level on a much smaller scale. So he was able to build his little world there, and then he's kind of gone out from there. But now he's not even really, you watch Dunkirk and you're like, that was just a good movie. It didn't have a lot of and that's probably why it's a great movie. It's just I had this thought in my head of where his movies are and what he does with them, and he just didn't do it to this movie. And that's I have to separate that out from his, where it just. Other people may disagree with me. I just think it's not his, it doesn't feel like it has his stamp on it.
Yeah.
It does maybe just a little degree, but not to a point where it's like, he just blew your fucking mind with Inception.
Do you think it could be that there's, in all of Nolan's films, there's at least a little bit of element of sci-fi into it? It could even be argued a little bit in Memento. Do you think it's because he took that element completely out of Dunkirk and just said, you know what, I'm just going to tell a tight, hour and a half long war movie. That's it.
Yep. That's pretty much it. So the parts where, and that may be where I just love his sci-fi elements, or his just, he's made Batman movies and he's made really cool, like, I mean, Memento's not really sci-fi. I mean, Prestige is kind of like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, whimsical. I don't know. It's like just the magic of it. Whereas Prestige, or not Prestige, but Memento and Insomnia, which we haven't really talked about. Insomnia is just a great crime movie.
Oh fuck! I forgot he did Insomnia with Robin Williams, who was creepy as fuck in that movie.
Yeah, you want to see Robin Williams not in a happy place? That's Robin Williams not in a happy place. He is a creepy motherfucker in that film.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Underrated. That's probably his most, and we didn't even put that in our top list.
Wow. Yeah, that would go in my top 5.
Yeah, that's more in the middle. That's probably non-Batman. That's probably like 3 or 4.
That would go 3 for me.
Yeah, Insomnia is great. Like, if you don't know, the premise is there's murder. There's like a murders in Alaska, and he
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino's in it. Like, if you love Al Pacino, you'll love this. He's a cop from like San Francisco or Seattle or something, and he's a detective, and he gets brought in to help this murder case, and it's in a part of it. It's like the time in Alaska where there's just very little. It's mostly the entire day is daytime, so he's just thrown off, and he just can't sleep. Hence the name.
Yeah, and it plays with him psychologically, and it is such a fucking good movie, guys. Yeah. If you have an hour and a half to kill, and if you out of all the movies that we've recommended today, I honestly think that you guys owe it to yourself the most to watch Insomnia.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's Nolan's most. It's such a straight crime movie, but with the element of like just a creepy ass Robin Williams. Like, if you think Robin Williams and you think, oh, haha, funny guy, Robin Williams, genie and all this stuff, watch this movie because he is twisted as fuck in this movie.
It's fantastic. I mean, there's some other good characters in it, but it's really centered on Robin Williams and Al Pacino. And like Louis said, it's such an it's probably the most underrated of his films, and the one that gets the least amount of chatter. But it is, do yourself a favor. If you leave here, any advice from us, watch that movie first. All the other ones are great, but that is the most underrated film that he's done. And I don't think it made much splash at the box office either.
I think that was the second film, wasn't it? Because I'm looking at the time. It's 2002.
Yeah.
It was a critical darling, 92% of Rotten Tomatoes.
It's one of those movies that comes out in the movie theater and you're just like, meh, hard pass, and then it really catches more steam after it hits Blu-ray or DVD or whatever. Yep, that's where is it? It's not even on. Oh, I'm looking at his writer credits. Yep. So it's his second movie. So he did Memento, then he did Insomnia, then he did Batman Begins, then Prestige, then Dark. So he actually split. He did movies in between his Batman movies. I forgot that he took time off in between doing Batman movies. So he did Batman Begins, then he did Prestige, then he did The Dark Knight, then he did Inception, then he did Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, he tends to have palate cleansers before he jumps into really big and grandiose movies. He tends to kind of do like smaller films, and then he jumps into something else that's a little bit more grandiose. The Dunkirk seemed like it was more of a palate cleanser, which makes me all the more excited to see what he's going to come up with next.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think he's even given a hint of what he's got planned next.
But he's got no pending projects, any pending credits, director credits. He just has Dunkirk, and that's it. I mean, he usually goes let's see. He went 3 years in between Interstellar and Dunkirk. And 2 years, I mean, he probably was on a timeline with the Batman movies. Mm-hmm. So Warner Brothers probably like, all right, you got to get him out. I mean, he did the first one in 2005. They're probably like, all right, you have a couple years, do whatever you want. So he did Prestige the next year. So he did a movie the next year after that. Then he waited a year. 2008 was Dark Knight. Then 2 years, Inception. Then another 2 years, Dark Knight Rises. And then another 2 years, Interstellar. He's kind of been like roughly 2 to 3 years, right?
1 year off, 1 year on.
We might not see our next Nolan movie until 2019 or 2020.
That's what it seems like. But the rumor is that they want to get Nolan to do the next James Bond.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't either. I don't think he's the right fit.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he's the right fit for that.
I don't know.
Did you see the last one?
Yes. Is that Spectre?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I heard it's not that great.
If you were curious of the cover, that's it.
Yes.
Heard it wasn't. Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right.
I liked. Wait, do I have? Is it are the ones with Daniel Craig are Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre, right?
Yes.
Right?
My favorite being Skyfall.
Yep, ditto. So, well, Casino Royale is pretty badass.
Casino Royale is really good.
I think that's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I think Casino Royale is my favorite, and then Skyfall, and then Spectre, and Quantum of Solace is just. We're not going to talk about Quantum of Solace.
Yeah,
I'll own it, but because I'm a completionist when it comes to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have most of the Bond movies. I don't have all of them.
You have the box set?
The one that came out a couple years ago, yeah, it's got like, hold on.
All 50-something movies or something?
No. So of the old ones, not of the new Daniel Craig, I have these.
Oh, wow.
So I have Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, Live and Let Die, Moonraker, For Your Eyes Only, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. So it's kind of like there was an original, like when Blu-rays first came out, they did like the first ever Bond box set. They're like, we're gonna cash in on Bond. Let's do a box set. They brought these out, and I got it.
Who's your favorite Bond? Brosnan. Admit it. Come on, Pierce Brosnan.
Fuck that guy.
90s era Bond.
Fuck that guy. I mean, Sean Connery.
Of course, yeah. Everybody's
quintessential. Like, yeah. I mean, I love Daniel Craig. I just think
Craig's not bad. Craig's not bad. Like I said,
some might argue Roger Moore, but I just love Sean Connery.
My favorite of the Connery era has to be not Connery of the Daniel Craig era is Skyfall.
Yep.
Mine is Skyfall, followed by Casino Royale. Is so fucking good.
It is. That was like the second Blu-ray I ever bought. Maybe the first.
It's a real good looking Blu-ray.
It is.
It's basically just a giant poker game versus Hannibal.
Yep. OG Blu-ray right here, boy.
I have it. I have that one.
OG Blu-ray.
Yeah. Damn. Make me want to watch that now, actually.
So good. So good. Here's Insomnia for everybody. It's got the...
I need to get that. I love it.
Sorry for the glare. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. The cover's very like... That's actually a pivotal scene in the movie. He's just kind of like walking around in the fog in Alaska. Mm-hmm. Creepy Robin Williams who's going to fucking kill you.
You know, Robin Williams was also creepy in a 1 Hour Photo. I just remember.
Yep. I was thinking about that. I haven't seen that. I don't
You've never seen 1 Hour Photo?
No. I've seen like, I think I've probably seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never actually seen it.
It's actually really good. I recommend you check it out. This week, new releases. We've got It coming out to theaters. Are you watching it?
I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
This looks good, man. Early positive reviews are saying it's fantastic.
I'm gonna check on you and go to Rotten Tomatoes, and it doesn't look like it. No score yet.
No score
to be
yet.
Determined. I'm a Rotten Tomatoes whore, so I will go there. I don't let it I don't let it sway me whether I'm going to see a movie or not.
Right.
But I will tell you if I'm on the fence about something, if I kind of want to see it down, it will push me in the direction if it gets good reviews to go see it. So even if a movie gets shit reviews, I'm like, Batman v Superman shit reviews? Fuck, I don't care. I'm gonna go see that shit.
What did you think of Batman v Superman? I never asked you about that.
I'm probably one of the few that just didn't give a shit. Like, I just didn't care. I just checked my brain at the door and so I think they should have just kept it simpler and not tried to, like, you know, shoehorn Doomsday in at the end. They didn't need to do that. Yeah, they're like, all right, let's take a bunch of fucking cool Batman stories and just put them in a blender and see what the fuck happens. We're gonna take Dark Knight Returns. We're gonna take we're gonna take the death of Superman. We're just gonna jam it all into this blender, and who gives a shit? It's a Batman Superman frappe. It sucks. I don't know. The Martha thing was dumb. Like, that was dumb. But, like, things like that, like, in the moment, I can separate myself and not let it. And this is just me. I'm not going to let it ruin my experience. I'm not going to let it ruin, like, little dumb shit like that. I'm not going to have it go, but fuck that movie. Like, fuck you. You both thought Martha, you didn't beat him up because Martha's both your mom's names. Like, okay, like, cheesy, yes. Could they have done a better job? Yes. But did the movie entertain me overall? Yes. Was it the worst movie I've ever seen? No. Was it the best superhero movie I've ever seen? No. But it was way better than Suicide Squad. Holy dick butt.
For me, it was like, all right, I'm with this. I'm not hating this. Martha! I was like, I'm out.
We still own it.
Why?
Garbage.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
You know this, and people hate it. I know people don't like it. I collect. There's some comic book movies I don't enjoy, and honestly, my wife likes Harley Quinn. So
my girlfriend liked it.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. It was real bad.
I really want to like this movie. I've watched it again, and I'm like, and then you just get to it's like the end. You get to the end and and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Why?
It's like hate sex. It's like you're doing it, and you're hating it the whole way through.
It's a grudge fuck is what I call it.
Grudge fuck.
Right. Like,
afterwards,
fuck you, Suicide Squad. I'm gonna watch you. Fuck you.
And then afterwards, when you're done with it, you just look at yourself in the mirror and go, "Oh God, what did I do?"
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Why am I doing this to myself?
They like why was that one character even in Suicide Squad? The fucking the Native American character. They're just like
to die. That's why he was in the movie, to die.
I'm here. You didn't tell my origin story. My head got blown off. That's it.
Slipknot, yeah.
Yeah.
The minute he showed up, and I thought, we didn't get an origin story for. Oh.
You're the Star Trek guy in the red suit. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. You're gonna die. And they just, the extended cut was slightly less worse. Just, I don't know if you've watched. Have you watched the Blu-ray extended cut?
No, I love myself too much to watch that.
They did a little. I think I don't remember. When they did the Captain Boomerang thing, was the bit with the Flash in there?
I want to say no. No, it wasn't.
Okay, so they added like a little scene with Captain Boomerang and his origin story, where like at the end of his origin story, they show what is his name, Ezra, the new Flash, the new movie Flash. Yeah, they show him like catching him in a bank, and you're like, oh, cool. They brought the Flash in for a split second into the Suicide Squad. Like, yeah, some of that stuff. I think the Batman v Superman extended version, if you haven't seen that helped a decent bit. They fleshed out some stuff in that I thought was a little bit better. But still not a great film. Do I give a shit? No. Don't care. If you don't like it, who cares?
At the end of the day, who cares, right?
Yeah. It's a fucking Batman and Superman.
It's a fucking Batman.
Yeah. Like,
the fight was cool. When they finally go at it, I was like, all right, this is pretty cool.
just people just said that Marvel has been kicking ass so much in the movie theater, and they expect a lot of these characters. I get it, don't get me wrong, but it's just on this pedestal. It's like way up here, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be up there, but maybe you should bring your expectations down just a little bit with some of this stuff. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, shit.
Well, it's about time. It's about time I get going. Jay, this was fun. Where can they find you?
I'm around, Just message me. I'm not cool, man. I don't got a YouTube channel. I just borrow yours. So
well, technically, I don't have a YouTube channel right now. So.
Fair. Patreon people, you can find me, there. I'm on all the Omni Bros places in the corresponding sub channels, which there are like 80 million of them now, and Twitter and Facebook and all those good places. So if you want to talk to me, hit me up on Facebook. It's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Sounds like a plan, man. All right, for those of you out there that want to get a hold of me, Facebook.com, I guess, that's still active. Hardcover Reviews, Twitter.com/hardcover reviews. That's still active. I'm planning. I still haven't decided if I should just go ahead and revamp what I have and just rename everything to what, because I've got a name for the new channel.
Sneak peek, or are you waiting on it?
Huh?
I said the sneak peek on the name, or are you holding it back?
I'm holding it back for now.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, because I don't want to give it out because then somebody will rush out and go, "Oh, I'm going to take that name." I've got a name for it. I don't know if I should just go ahead and start fresh or if I should just rename everything on the
What's the theme?
Huh?
Is it just going to be kind of like all things nerdy tech?
Yeah, it's going to be more along the lines of what I've been doing already with the because the thing is I wanted to distance after that whole fiasco and that whole thing that happened this past week, and I was just like done with what I was doing. I kind of wanted to distance myself away from like because the fact is hardcover reviews is hardcover reviews. That's what people look for mostly. It's like we want reviews. Like we want reviews on hardcovers. I can't afford hardcovers. I can't afford omnibuses because I've got a lot of expenses coming my way and a lot of other things happening in my life over the next few months. So I kind of want to distance myself away from that. So it's going to be more along the lines of how to start reading videos, think pieces, things like that.
Yeah, if you just, people are going to be fucking dicks on the internet, and that's just, the internet's a cesspool for that crap. So it sooner you just kind of distance yourself from those trolls. They're going to be trolls. No matter what you do, you launch this new thing, people are going to be fucking assholes. But there are a lot of people that care about you, man. And you saw that when you posted that on Facebook. So just know there's a lot of people that give a shit about the content you do. And there's just like literally 5 people out there who are fucking assholes. Like literally, like who gives a shit what those guys think if you don't do hardcover reviews because your channel's hardcover? Like anybody who gave a shit about what the content that you brought, like they were gonna watch that stuff. So I think you're on the right track. Center yourself, rebrand your channel, come out with keep the stuff there. I wouldn't change any of that stuff, and just have a broader direction of what you do and if you want the channel to be successful, do some good research, watch people, what they do and kind of why they're successful.
So you think I should just stick with the current channel and just rebrand everything?
Absolutely. I wouldn't get rid of your shit. I would, because that's your catalog of stuff. Like you'll have that there. You're not going to totally get away from that stuff. Every now and again, you might bring a hardcover on. You might get back into it and you'd be like, "Aha, it's a hardcover. Fuck you guys." Like you could do that. So just keep being you. Keep doing your thing, and people will watch your stuff. I think the majority of the stuff I'm drawn to when it comes to that stuff are just probably like deep dives into. You see a lot of these comic book channels. I don't know if you're going to get that hyper specific, or if you're just going to be like, we're doing our movie thing. You're getting into movies and games and things like that. Give your piece on it and you got to have a shtick. You got to have a entertaining way to get people to, want to click and read it and watch your stuff. You just got to find that. You know, see, that's the only way you're gonna make it grow. I don't know what it is, or I'd fucking be doing it. Just me being me would be enough, but sometimes it's not enough. You gotta have something. I mean, it's a lot of it's production value and what you bring out and put into it. What you put into it's what you get out of it. It's like anything in life.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Deep Thoughts by Jay Lewis on a Tuesday night.
Thank you, Jay. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, people. We'll catch you later.
See you next week. Stay tuned for next week. Still don't know what it is. I would, as long as the hurricane doesn't kill my internet and my power, we should be perfectly fine next week. If it does, then we might not have one next week. We'll see how that goes. But I plan to watch Stephen King's It, so expect me to be talking about that next week. Jay says he's a no-go for that, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And yeah, we're gonna figure out what we're gonna talk about next week. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.